stage setup?
No. No, you're 0 for 3, brother.
I tried, man.
Is there a new showrunner for the show? Is that a possible question that we can throw in there? A possible new showrunner, new creative? No, there's no new creative. Oh man. So what fucking reset are we talking about?
Look, as long as everything is fine with JD Drake as we go through the show, then I'll be okay.
Man, wasn't that some subliminal message type shit out there, man? What the fuck was that? Huh? Oh my goodness.
Don't be full of yourself, man.
I won't be surprised with these fucking people, man. Listen, where do you want to start tonight, man? I have a feeling I'm gonna go off. I don't listen. Everybody's like, oh, JD's gonna have category 6 hurricane-like rant tonight, man. Listen, I don't prep these rants. We just kind of go with the flow here, as per name of the show. So I'm gonna leave it to Jesse, and then we'll navigate these seas as we see fit, man. What do you want to talk about, man? What was your takeaway from tonight's show, man? Before I fucking lose a gasket over here.
So, wow. Tag team division, it's there. There is one. Okay.
Barely.
All right, we got that. I guess we should start with Jon Moxley since he took over the TBS Superstation, right? That should be the most important thing.
They teased Jon Moxley taking over the TBS or seizing the TBS Superstation. It hasn't been called the TBS Superstation since the days where I used to watch the Atlanta Braves on TBS and fucking Chip Carey was calling the goddamn Brave games on TBS. But they put a graphic up with Jon Moxley seizing the TBS Superstation. Now, one would think that when you put something out like that, that something volatile is going to happen. Something vicious is going to happen. There's going to be like a takeover of some sort. He's going to do something memorable happen. He's going to do something that's going to leave you saying, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens next week. What is he doing now? Who's getting injured? Who's getting beat up? What does this mean? Taking over a production truck?
Remember, winter is coming.
For AEW, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big time spot. It was a big time spot. Remember the Festival of Friendship?
Yes.
Big time spot for the show, for the TV show, right?
Yeah.
This was just as monumental, right?
It was so monumental that all 1,900 people in Bridgeport, Connecticut couldn't be bothered to even make a peep in attendance tonight. This was one of the most clickbaity, this was one of the most false advertising things that AEW has ever done. Jon Moxley did not take over a production truck. Jon Moxley did not beat up ringside crew. He did not leave the ringside area at the end of the show in shambles. He did not unmask fucking Excalibur. He did not slap the fucking piss out of Tony.
This holiday season, when you're shopping online, Brightspeed will make the online part free.
Nothing like that happened.
Well, it was a recorded segment, and he went and physically took over TBS Towers.
They did not venture to Atlanta, Georgia, and take over Time Warner Discovery or Warner Brothers Discovery headquarters. No, he did not do any of that. The seizing of AEW consisted of, and I mean this, and I am not trolling any of you guys, I mean this with every fiber of my being, the seizing of TBS was attacking J.D. Drake of the Workhorsemen. Who? Oh, a loser. Another loser signed to an AEW contract. J.D. Drake, who took a steel chair to his back, and then Jon Moxley cut a promo in front of crickets. And one of the people in attendance, because it was so silent you heard everything come off television, one guy in attendance yelled, "Come back to Roman!" He legitimately yelled, "Come back to Roman Reigns," to Jon Moxley in Bridgeport, Connecticut, which is not that far from Titan Tower. So, I mean, it goes without saying what type of people were in attendance tonight. "Come back to Roman!" he yelled. And Jon Moxley threatened to make hamburger meat out of Orange Cassidy Well, Orange Cassidy comes out to rebut Jon Moxley and challenge Wheeler Yuta to a wrestling match next week on Dynamite. He wants to wrestle Wheeler Yuta on Dynamite next week. And then Darby Allin jumps off the ledge in the crowd and jumps on top of Marina Shafir and Jon Moxley wearing some sort of purple mask. I don't know what he was disguised as this week. And then the segment came to an end and Moxley retreated.
Wait, you're not gonna bruise over this.
What did I
You mean
miss?
to tell me? Whoa. What are we getting next week?
We're getting a wrestling match.
Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta?
Yes.
Man,
This is absolutely monumental, groundbreaking, unbelievable creative by Will Washington and Tony Khan. This shit is as embarrassing as it sounds, ladies and gentlemen. This company is in some deep trouble. And this company is afloat right now. How? I have no fucking idea. And the only thing that I could sit here and think about is how this storyline is a fucking failure after 6 weeks. It's gone nowhere. It will go nowhere after he defeats Orange Cassidy at Full Gear. And the only thing I can think about is how much of a sucker David Zaslav is that he willingly gave Tony Khan $555 million for this subpar fucking garbage that we see every single week. This is what you paid for? The only thing that is seized is the fucking plummeting ratings that are certainly going to be tomorrow afternoon when Brandon Thurston puts them out at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. This shit is fucking embarrassing. That's what you call a company takeover? That's your biggest storyline in the entire company? J.D. Drake, The Dork Order, Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, fucking Jobber, ABCDEFG from the fucking community section on WWE 2K25. What the fuck are we doing here, bro? What are we doing? You had weeks to sell us on this storyline, and you have fucking drove people away from this show even further than already have been driven away. And this is what you call the biggest storyline in company history? By the time we get to the fucking conclusion, nobody, and I mean 0 people, will give a shit how this ends. This is fucking terrible. I'm sorry, Jess. This is terrible.
I think you're bruising over some high-powered information here, bro.
Please, fill me in.
Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy? J.D. Drake may never be the same. Bro, this company has been turned on its head. Woo!
All right, Mr. Sarcasm, all joking aside, let us know how you feel. Go ahead. This is why you're here.
I am here. Let me tell you why. I'm here to bring some levity and some common sense and some level-headedness to some of the things you say that maybe you go too far and over the top. I'll let you know when you go too far and you're over the top. So far, so good. Okay. It's J.D. Drake, bruh. And Wheeler Yuta and Woo.
You know, me and Solomon also talked about this last night. We're going to let it see it play out. You know, I think he is more of an even keel personality, and he is willing to give it a chance. I think even he is being too nice when it comes to what we're seeing on television. I am more of a, listen, man, I don't need that much time to figure out what I like and what I don't like, what's working and what's not working, man. I go to a restaurant, and if I don't have a good experience, I'm not going back to that restaurant again. I go order a cup of coffee from a certain place here in town, and they make it wrong, I am likely not going back there again, and I'm going to go to where I usually get my coffee. That's how things work. That's how life works. You get one shot to make this shit work. AEW is now giving us 6 weeks to make this work, and this is what we're doing. Yet you still have people saying, oh, who did you want them to start off with? You wanted them to start off with the Will Ospreys and the MJFs and the Kenny Omegas of the AEW roster. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm asking for them to write something that's captivating that says to me and Jesse, hey, I want you to watch my